Dave and Noah. I actually feel like
What's up, motherfuckers? You surprised to see me? It's your boy Big Ev, aka the Double Vodka Don. This is Pick Central, #1 Barstool Daily Gambling Show. They said we weren't going to have a show. We said, fuck that. We're going to have, Mintzy wants a show. We're going to have a show. And off the top, I want to make something very clear. This was not some collaborative effort by the team to not have a show. We were told we were not having a show. But guess what? It's Football Friday, the first Football Friday. The Double Vodka Don is here, and we're having a motherfucking show. Let's go. Ebo, how we feeling? Talk to me, Ebo. How we feeling?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're doing good. A lot of fun games last night. Backyard Brawls back. Sean Clifford. Peak Sean Clifford last night. It was a lot of fun.
Unreal. I'm feeling good right now. I mean, that was a crazy, crazy slate of football last night. You said Backyard Brawl was insane. I think JT made me look pretty good last night. I've been on record JT Ryder. JT was a very good quarterback. Hasn't really had the opportunities last couple of years. He looked very good. Also, some crazy plays by Bryce Ford Wheaton. Makes some great plays, and unfortunately, has the big drop that basically ends up losing them the game. Just chaos. The Purdue game was absolute chaos. They shit down their leg to end the first half. They come all the way back. In my opinion, they dominated the second half. They take the lead. Jeff Braun made some very questionable coaching decisions. Just throw the ball down the stretch. They end up losing the game. They don't run enough clock off. Sean Clifford, after having a horrendous second half, goes bang, 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 boom, touchdown, win the game, game over. I'm so excited. I'm happy we're doing this show. I wanted to do this show from the top, from the very beginning. Like I said, we were told it was canceled, but we're here. The people wanted a show. We're going to give you a show. It's Football Friday. We'll get the callers cooking when we put the number on the screen for the people. I want to talk to the people today. It's Football Friday. Big slate tonight. Massive slate tomorrow. We'll be streaming tomorrow from the Hoboken House, I believe starting at 5 p.m. Eastern for the second half of Georgia, Oregon. And then obviously we got Chief coming to town. We'll be streaming Ohio State, Notre Dame tomorrow night. Huge game. Here he is, Mintzy. Get in here, Mintzy. Get the fuck in here. Take a seat. Take a seat, Mintz. How we feeling?
Feel freaking great. It's Football Friday. Let's go.
Some of us a little more dedicated, called an Uber, spent our own money, get a little faster, but it's all good. We're here. Football Friday.
Wait a minute. You're calling me out?
Well, I'm absolutely calling it. You made us all look like assholes.
What the hell?
What?
How am I getting called out for this? I didn't want to cancel the show. I told to come here.
But you made us all look like we wanted to cancel No Pick Central today. What was the reason for that tweet? I need to know what was the reason for the tweet. We're here. We're having the show. I'm saying you made it look like it was us being like, oh, like fuck it, let's just pack it in Friday. Let's not have a show.
What? I just tweeted out we weren't having a show because it got announced we weren't on our group chat.
But
I got a text from Dave saying that's lazy on your part, cancel it, not working. You think I freaking...
But that's what I'm saying. He said that because you made it look like we just like hung it up.
You think I run whether we have picked Central or not?
No, I'm saying what you made it look like, Mintzy. We know that we did not cancel the show. We wanted to have a show.
Hell yeah, we wanted to have the show.
We were told there was not going to be a show.
Exactly. So I said there wasn't a show for me. For you to get on me about just tweeting we're not going to have a show, but it's a fact.
I'm saying now, but
and to bitch at me about getting an Uber. Man, you should have seen it. I mean, I'd love to see you sprint like I just did to get here.
Well, no, I didn't because I knew it wouldn't have made it in time. That's why I put my own money down and called an Uber and got my ass here on time. On time.
I got here. I cannot believe of all the times I've been attacked, and I've been attacked a lot, and a lot of it's fair. You know, I'm not going to sit here and not. But, man, I didn't do anything wrong here. I mean, I literally just tweeted a fact. Maybe I should have tweeted it in a different light, but I didn't make that decision. I want to have the show on Football Friday.
No, but I'm saying I think you have an uncanny ability to, I think not by maybe your own like spiteful doing, I guess, however you want to say it, but you have this uncanny ability to throw other people under the bus.
I just said no pick Central today.
But I'm saying
that's a fact. The show was gotten canceled by nothing. I wanted to do the show. How can I be getting bitched at?
Because it's you, so like basically like we're not doing the show today kind of thing. And I'm not saying it was you saying like it's your choice. Obviously, I know it wasn't your choice. It wasn't my choice either. But it was the way you just threw it out there, like no pick Central today, like we're out. Like we knew there was not a show.
So explain what I was supposed to do instead. Just say the office is. I should have explained it like the office is closed half day for holiday weekend.
I would say more just not say anything. And it's not to me.
Well, if I hadn't said anything, we wouldn't have a show, and it would be a lot worse situation.
I guess that's fair, but I'm saying it was more the way it made it look like there was this collaborative effort. Like, hey guys, let's all huddle up. Like, we don't want to do a show Friday, the first Football Friday. Let's just
we do want to do a show the first football.
I know that's why we're here, and I feel bad for the other guys because they would have been here too. But
no, I'm not throwing anybody else.
We were told this kind of in advance.
No, it's no one's fault.
They went other places. They did other things.
It's no one's fault. I agree with that. It's just a misunderstanding. Everybody wants to do the show on Friday. The office is closed for Labor Day week. This is a misunderstanding. It's no one's fault.
It's all good, man.
I'm not throwing any control. This. I promise you, I am very far down the totem pole and have no.
I know that, and I don't either. I do what I'm told. You do what you're told. We're in the same boat. I just I was just glad that I was able to. I literally looked on the Uber app and I was like, "Fuck it, I can get here by like 11:58."
I got here at 12:03.
No, you did good, Mintzy.
I got that text at like 11:31, and I was coming in today because I'm taping FFF Pod with Shay later anyway, so I was coming to the office today.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, it's just I get what you're saying because Dave texted me like because of the tone of the tweet, like I was the one who said.
That was the point that I was making, that it came off as like this kind of like, all right, like we just decided to like can it.
Well, the irony of it is on the group text yesterday when it got said or whenever it was that we didn't have it, I was bummed. I told TJ and multiple people, I was like, that sucks.
No, I felt the same way.
I mean, it's the first Friday of week one.
No, I felt the same way. I kind of thought the same thing. But all right, let's get in.
Let's start. Okay, first of all, a couple things to get into. We launched in Kansas yesterday. 13th state. If you opt in Kansas and you're a new player, you can bet $5 on something and you get a free $100 bonus cash. What the hell are you waiting for? How can you beat that?
We got a couple promos. So we got that. We got the parlay promo this week. This is for anybody's like new user, long time user. You make sure to opt in on the tab. It's at the front screen. It's at the very top. Make sure to click the tab. Click opt-in, put a 3-team parlay in of college football either today or tomorrow for either today, tomorrow's game, September 2nd, September 3rd, and get $25 back if the parlay does not hit. So basically the no-brainer is put 20. You can put more on it, obviously you want. I'll put $25 in a 3-team parlay. Doesn't hit, you get the 25 back in bonus cash, rebet it, bada bing, bada boom. Some great promos. Like Mintzy said, we're live in Kansas. I think we're in 13, 14 states now it is.
Yeah, it's 13.
13, there we go. Lucky number 13.
I have a question, real quick on the parlay prop. The thing, I was trying to get a clarification on this. So it's up to 25, gets matched back if you.
So yeah, you can. So you say you wanted to put 100 on it. If it loses, you'd get back 25.
Okay, so basically you can do a $25 parlay.
I believe it has to be a minimum of 25, is my understanding.
Yeah, but you can do a $25 parlay and literally it's a free parlay.
Yeah, you get bonus cash back if it doesn't hit.
Hell yeah.
For today's. And just to make it clarify, because there are some Sunday game, Monday games So it's today's games, tomorrow's games.
Yeah, it's Friday and Saturday.
The 2nd and the 3rd of September.
Okay, well, check that promotion out. Love the week 1 promotions. Ev, how about those games last night, man?
Unfucking real.
I mean, that backyard brawl, I mean, I've seen Heinz Field rock like that for Steelers games. I've never seen it like that for a Pitt game. I mean, that was insane in there last night. I thought it was like Tiger Stadium Saturday night game.
Well, it's a point that I forget if they were on the broadcast. I heard someone bring it up when it's so true. It's that, and I think we've talked about it a little bit with talking about how there's like this inherent like Mets-Yankees rivalry and these geographical rivalries when they're so close together, when you have to live amongst each other, are so much better sometimes than some of these like these far away ones, if you know what I'm saying, where when you have to live and see these people every single day, where Pitt and Pittsburgh and Morgantown are so close that you literally like you're gonna walk to the grocery store, like you're gonna go to the gas station, whatever. You're gonna be in your Pitt gear if you're a Pitt fan, or West Virginia, you're gonna be in your Mountaineer gear, and you have to see these people day to day, year to year, and you have to just look them in the eye and be like, "We beat your ass this year," or vice versa. Where when the rivalries are a little further away, you don't have to live amongst it day to day, and I think that kind of rivalry, like that geographical like closeness, makes it that much more like you just want it that much better.
No, and that's what makes college football great is those geographic rivalries, because then the fans, you see some of these like national conferences now where, you don't have these natural rivalries and the fans aren't going to be able to travel and fly 6 hours to games and stuff. And, one other thing I kind of mentioned on Twitter last night, man, I would love if these big rivalries that aren't in the same conference, I'd love if they just played week 1. Like it could be like a huge thing to start the year. Because it's just awesome. Because week 1, man, the fan energy, everybody's been waiting all summer. You start out with your arch rival. I mean, people are freaking amped. And, man, what a crazy game to break that down. Walker's analysis was dead right on Pitt's D-line. I thought Pitt's D-line, JT Daniels, I thought played a spectacular game. I mean, he was under heat the entire game. Just an unbelievably bad break, the ball going off the helmet on that pick six. Man.
Oh, and I feel so bad.
I mean,
I feel so bad for the kid too, Bryce Ford, because
the game he had.
Such a fucking good game, and then now that's going to be kind of the play that's remembered. Honestly, both their D lines I thought played really. West Virginia's front seven I thought played really, really well as well. They got some great rush.
Ev, I don't want to stop the football talk, but we do have an Unreal video we have to play. Of Mintzy getting here. He hustled his ass off to get here. We got to run the clip.
He's red as hell. Run the clip.
We run the clip.
There we go, Mintzy.
Got the widespread panic. Get him. Weight loss, boys. I'm gonna hold up my shorts.
I know that feeling.
The shorts are falling off. Cody running with me.
Thank God you've been hitting the treadmill. Avenues are no joke.
Oh, no, we were going
Avenues are long as hell.
I'm sucking ass toward the end of this thing. I got my backpack on me. Cody's laughing, filming.
I can see the
you see me pulling the shorts up?
I can see the phone in the front pocket in the basketball shorts.
Yeah.
Swinging.
Yeah, I'm just raging tunes, like trying to stay amped up, too. I mean, anything for the stool, baby. This is... Still going.
Avenues are long, man.
Oh, dude.
People that aren't too familiar with New York City, there's blocks and there's avenues. Avenues are fucking long as shit. Long as shit.
Still going, baby. Got backpack on. This is why
they really are so long. Like people are thinking,
this is why I was.
How long is this damn block?
See this effort. This is why I was mad when you made the comment with the Uber.
When I apologize, your face was red. I know you hustled in here.
I mean, I was saying, like when you called me out for the Uber thing, I was like, you have no idea how hard I just went down this avenue to try to make this.
See, now we're on blocks.
Yeah, now we get to the block, and then I'm like, I'm dodging people.
Weaving traffic.
Yeah, I'm weaving. we're trucking it, baby.
And I know that feeling. You're trying to keep the ear pods.
Oh yeah, trying to keep the ear
going.
The backpack.
Trying to make sure they don't fall out.
My shorts are literally like falling off me. I'm having to hold them up. Now I try to sneak in the door. We're kind of struggling at this point.
I mean, just hammer the elevator button.
No, I ran up the stairs, man. We didn't hit no elevator.
Okay, I love that.
That's what I'm saying. When you called me out on that, I was like, you have no idea the effort I just gave to get in here.
That's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Honestly, shout out Cody and Liam for the camera work.
And the funny
phenomenal camera work. They had to do that run as well.
I got to give Cody props too. I actually texted
Stairs. Go.
That boy, Cody. Good way to give him the assist.
We're running up here, and then
Cavs looking good as well, Mintz.
I got that tree trunk. Yeah, you know. My legs have to be strong to carry my frame, you know. And then right when I come in here, I just get bitched at by, like, after sprinting this avenue, walk in and start getting.
I was hot too. I came in because I was like, "Fuck it, we're going." I was like, "I'm in, we're in."
You know, like I'll walk right into just like what? And I'm like, what?
My apologies, man.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's like I said, the whole.
We're here.
Yeah,
we're
like
now.
last thing on it, and then we're gonna get into all the football because we got so much to talk about. Like I said, no one at fault here. Just a misunderstanding. There's no whatever. I'm actually glad the tweet may have looked like I was throwing people under the bus. It's the best thing that happened because if I hadn't tweeted that, we wouldn't have a show. We'd really be getting bitched at right now.
That's the truth, and that's why I knew it was. I knew it wasn't from this. There's never a like some dark, twisted like thing behind it where you're like, oh, let me see if I can fuck these people over.
No.
It's sometimes there's
a lack of awareness. I get that.
It's the shrapnel's all it is.
Yeah.
I guess right before we get into football, we'll get to our sponsor. Shout out.
Fireball.
Shout out. I think we got Foaling, Mintzy.
Okay, Foaling.
We got Foaling. Great outdoor game. Use code Barstool20 for 20% off. Free shipping on Foaling. Set at playfoaling.com. Foaling is a rowdy mashup of football and bowling. First team to knock down all 10 of their opponents' pins wins. Born at the Indy 500 in 2001, Foaling is wildly popular in the Midwest where it all started, and it's taking the nation by storm. If anyone's game, tight spiral, granny roll, underhand, you don't need to be a quarterback to win. Bonks win the game in just one throw, but you got to give the other team one last chance before you claim victory. If on any player's first throw of the game with all 10 pins standing, the red pin is knocked off the board, that's a bonk. Upgrade your tailgate. Use Barstool20 for 20% off. Free shipping on a Foaling set. For 20% off and free shipping on a Foaling set at playfoaling.com. That's playfoaling.com. Love them.
Taking over the tailgate game.
Upgrade that tailgate, baby.
You know, it's already in the Midwest. I'm looking forward to seeing some SEC tailgates.
I like it. We played a little bit in the office here. I like it. It's great tailgate game, little like a darty type game, little just having some fun with the boys. It's literally whoever you play with, your sister, daughter, grandmother, brother, whoever. All right, so obviously we talked a little bit, obviously the backyard brawl yesterday. Then the other big game.
Oh, if you had Purdue, I felt bad for everybody.
Oh, I did. I lose by the hook. Just terrible, terrible, terrible. So I want to say this. So obviously, I talk about a little bit Ebo just at the very top. Obviously, a lot of talk about the way Braum kind of was throwing the ball so much down the stretch. At first, I thought people, when there was like 7-ish minutes left, I thought people were being a little too critical of how much he was throwing the ball because they're a throwing team. That's what they do. That's what they're best at.
Yeah, they trust the quarterback.
They were having a lot of success. O'Connell's a very good quarterback. He definitely, they were slinging the rock, period. I thought people were jumping on them too early, but then when he kind of kept doing it with like 3 minutes left, under 3 minutes left, he was throwing some balls that even the one that they thought got caught and ended up getting overturned, that was even, he kind of just chucked that one.
That was a very risky throw.
Between a bunch of defenders, that was not smart, even though O'Connell, he'd been pretty smart with the ball most of the game, made what I thought relatively good decisions most of the game. What's your overall take on that?
Look, I get they're being risky, but the strength of Purdue's team is he's a 6-year quarterback, and they trust him, and, you know, I don't have too much of a problem with it. I know he fit one in where he threw between 3 Penn State guys in that window. I know it's being aggressive, but, like, I always would rather err on that side of aggression. The strength of Purdue's team is Braum's offense and their quarterback. So if you're going to go down being aggressive with that, I'm okay with that. I know that it's kind of like no matter what, when you lose, people are going to nitpick it. But, like, I have way less of a problem with him gunning it, you know, trying to pass than I did when Neil Brown punted on that 4th and 1 at the 50.
Well, that's
what I have a problem with.
That was another thing I was going to bring up, too, because I know that's been something that's been highly, highly criticized in the NFL. I think now it's been getting more and more criticized in college. I think the overall stance in these kind of things is it's 50-50. Be more aggressive. Basically, if you pick up this first down, you're probably about to win this game right now. And instead, it just flips on its head. There's one thing I just hit. Listen, I understand the mindset that, like, hey, if you had went for it and didn't get it, and then they go right down and score, you look like an idiot. I understand, like, a coach feeling that way, but I just feel like you got to play to win. You can't play not to lose.
That's my point.
What I call it's chicken shit football.
Especially on the road.
And also, they had a lot of success running the ball, especially with that guy. That guy Donaldson's a truck.
I mean, he's like 6'2".
I feel like every time they gave him the ball, he was just ripping 20-yard runs.
No, that's what.
And he was falling forward every time. He was like big, powerful back. I was like, I mean, this guy's been getting you yardage all day long. Give this guy a shot. I mean, even if they were worried about the pass rush, like I said, they've been running the ball a ton. I was surprised that they didn't do it, but I know it's tough because I just think they as a team, I really felt like the overall West Virginia played such a good game. Like I said, the D-line played well. Daniels played well.
Front seven played really
That's why I thought the front seven as a whole played well. Even their secondary, I thought, made some good plays. Like Pitt was able to do some stuff over the middle. I thought Slovis made some good throws, but a lot of the guys, they were open over the middle, but they made good tackles overall. I don't know. It just was tough to watch. West Virginia Rider, that win total over, getting that first win.
Oh, I had West Virginia money line last night. I mean, that was a stinger, man. I mean,
like that's one, like especially over at 6 wins, you'll get a win like that. I mean, you feel like you're cruising the second.
I got to give you a shout out on this. You were pro. I thought JT Daniels' effort was spectacular last night. I know his stats may have not been the best, but like he had no protection the whole game. I mean, literally, Pitt's D line was destroying them up front. He was having to step up into pressure and take shots. I thought he stepped in. I thought he played a spectacular game.
Also, early in the game, he made a lot of great deep throws that were just dropped too. Because I saw someone after he made the 2 touchdown throws he made were just great, like fade back shoulder throws. Because I saw someone I tweeted one of the clips of one of his touchdowns, and someone was like, he has 150 yards, and I'm like, I'm like that's like just a ridiculous stat to say that he didn't play a good game. I mean, like I said, they had all the drops and the big throws early in the half. I mean, just how much he got hit.
That's my.
I mean, you can't just look at a stat sheet and show how a quarterback played.
He gave him a chance.
He played really well.
He gave him a great chance to win on the right, and then that pick six was not even remotely.
And the crazy one when he was backed up deep when Bryce Ford Wheat made that crazy play on the 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Where he was throwing, and the D lineman who ended up being out the rest of the game, I think he might have even like broke his wrist or hurt his arm pretty bad. He came down and basically like chopped on right in his throwing arm, like right past his elbow, like his arm, like his bicep. And I usually think, I'm like, oh, I was afraid that he was like JT Daniels was going to be fucked. And the defensive lineman ended up hurting his own arm. That was kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
But you saw because even he was bleeding out his elbow. They were putting tape on the arm. By the end of the game, he had the navy blue sleeve on the arm. So I was very impressed with him. Obviously, I've been hyping up a lot in the summer, but I was very impressed. He really grit out, like you said. He took a ton of big hits too. The Pitt defensive line was all over him. He hung in there the whole game. I appreciated that. Didn't make me look like a total dumbass for the first week.
No, what a great effort. I thought it was just one of those games that was if you're a college football fan, there couldn't have been a better game to kick the year off.
What anything else that stood out to you big last night?
Well, at Central Michigan's quarterback Richardson, the backdoor cover effort was. I mean, they were down 37-7 at half, I believe, and they scored 37 they scored right before the half maybe. But either way, he had like 400-something yards. They scored 44 points to get that backdoor cover. That was, hell of an incredible backdoor cover. I mean, no doubt about it.
And he's kind of, have you been like a Maction guy for a while? To me, I know a lot of guys around here. He's kind of been like a Maction legend because he's a great quarterback. I tweeted last night. I've said it for a couple of years because he's a Miami kid that went to Central Michigan. I'm convinced if he was 6'2", he would be playing at Miami or like another big ACC.
I guess McElwain got him from his Florida Gator when he was a Florida coach. And so
yeah, probably knew him.
He had some gambling ties. Some recruiting ties down there.
Because I just look at he throws such a nice ball, and he makes good. I mean, what did he throw for like almost 450 yards?
Oh yeah, he had a huge game. Tennessee, I'm a little. I know Dave bet, 50K on him and won.
Yep.
I'm mad at myself because I was talking about that Tennessee first half and tweeted in our group yesterday. I was looking at it, but then when it was over 21, I was like, nah, they were up 38-0 at half. I mean, it just felt like a spot where they were going to come out with momentum with Hooker and just make a huge statement, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, Ball State, that was just, they had absolutely nothing for him, nothing. It almost gave me pause to some of the other MAC teams. We got some MAC like
Western Michigan tonight.
Ed, did you by chance see how that game ended, the Ball State game, to hit the over?
Oh, that they kicked the field goal.
Down 52. So Tennessee had the ball on their own 8, fumble. Then Ball State 3 plays, 6 yards, down 52, kick a field goal, make it 59-10, cash the over.
Love it. I think that's one of those ones where the coach is saying, let's get a double digits here. Let's get a little moral win. I don't hate anyone who had the over. God bless. That's a phenomenal over cash. I think I ended up just betting. I think I might have tailed Nate Dew and just took like the Tennessee first half pick. I like that on his blog, and that hit really easily. Pretty much all. I mean, the big teams for the most part, the big spreads, like I'm talking like the 30+. Most of them I think covered last night.
Yeah, New Mexico, Minnesota.
They barely covered. I was upset. The quarterback that I talked about that played in the second half, they didn't play him. I don't know if it would have made it. I think he only played maybe one series. I saw his stats. He just went 0 for 2. He definitely didn't start. They started the kid who started game 1. But, yeah, I think it was that big spread just barely covered.
Missouri, you're over on Missouri.
Easy.
Louisiana Tech was good.
I was worried there for a second. It started a little slow, but Mizzou, once they got cooking, it just was.
Yeah, Tech started. Tech has two. So Sonny Cumbie's there. It's his first year. It's a rebuilding situation. That roster went to crap at the end of the Skip Holtz era. They started They had a TCU transfer in their first. He threw 3 picks in like the first 17 minutes, something like that. I watched.
Oh, Downing, right?
Downing, yeah, he looked bad. But then they put in McNeil looked better.
But he was the one who number 7. He could run.
Yeah.
And then he hit the guy with the big like crossing route that he took for like 75 yards. But then they put in. Did he get hurt?
No, he kept turning the ball over.
Well, they put in the number 17.
Yeah, McNeil, who's a bigger guy.
Because I was gonna say did they play 3 quarterbacks?
I just saw 2.
Because I was watching. They were kind of like my third TV. Like I had them on the iPad, just because I had both. And basically, once they hit the over, the spread kind of had no chance. So I kind of stopped paying attention as much after that. I was just watching. Like I was all in at Purdue at that point.
I fell asleep and didn't see.
Fresno, I actually don't think ended up.
Okay, I was wondering if it was 21-7 in the third, so it didn't when I fell asleep, so it didn't look like they were going to cover. I know Rico had them, so that's why I'm.
Yeah, because I was considering taking them because I'm a huge Jake Haener guy, and I ended up staying away. I didn't want to see.
Yeah, I knew it was 21-7 with like 9 minutes left in the third when I fell asleep.
Let me see what that score was.
So I don't know.
I
don't know if they covered or not.
Was it? They 35-7. They did not cover.
Okay. So.
Also crazy. San Jose State almost lost to Portland State.
Jeez.
Yikes.
Man, San Jose State had that awesome year 2 years ago too.
I know they ended up winning the fucking the Mountain West.
Yeah.
So what?
I want to get into some of the games tonight before we look at tomorrow because I know.
You want to take a call or two? Or you want to talk about anything you want to get off your mind first?
Let's run through these games tonight and then we'll take some calls.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. First of all, Western Michigan, Michigan State. Kind of agree with what you're saying about the MAC thing. Also, Peyton Thorne. Like you think of those Michigan State teams through the years with D'Antonio, like they're grinded out teams. Not really good at covering big spreads, but they knew how to win games. They're a lot more explosive now. Yep. I really thought last year they could push the ball down the field. Historically in the past, I would take the MAC team because Michigan State plays like closer games in the spot. I do not feel that way anymore. I don't know. I'm either Michigan State or pass on this one. What do you think?
Actually, you know what I ended up playing. I already locked in, and that I actually really like is the over.
Okay, I can see that
because I think they're going to score quite a bit on Western Michigan. I don't love Michigan State's offense. I also went back and looked at a lot of their games just last year because they did bring back a lot of their team from last year. They really didn't blow anybody out last year. Like when I looked at their games, I don't know if they played anybody as
like a play up and play down kind of team.
They kind of just I don't think they won. They obviously had a great record last year. They might have won maybe one game by 3 touchdowns or none. They had a few that were in that 17 range kind of thing, but it gave me pause because I was kind of thinking about taking Michigan State as well. I'm locked in on the over. I'm still undecided on the side there.
I remember Western Michigan.
But I am on the over.
Western Michigan Pitt last year was nuts.
Yep.
I remember Western Michigan won at Pitt, and it was the game was in the high 40s.
Because Western Michigan, I know they lost Sky Moore. I know they did bring back Ellerby. So yeah, I am on the quarterbacks. I am undecided on the side, but yeah, I like the over there. And then the other big game for me, I feel like everyone in the world's on it, but I don't really care. I like Illinois. Indiana's bad. They were awful last year. I don't know what they brought in. Balzic, the kid from he's like the kid from Mizzou, right? Yeah. He doesn't get me super excited. The team as a whole doesn't get me excited. They were already bad and they lost some of their best pieces. Like their best defensive player, like Micah McFadden, he's on the Giants now. I mean, they were just terrible last year. I don't know what to get excited about. The line opened at Illinois plus 3.5. It's already down to 1.5, making its way almost to a pick'em. I locked in Illinois plus 1.5 this morning. Pretty sizable. Probably my favorite bet today.
I'm going to go counter on that one.
Yeah.
And here's why. I went last week. My huge thing was going against Wyoming because I think we're one of the worst teams in D1. And now I think Illinois is getting this push because they blew out a team that's bottom 5. And don't get me wrong, I do think Bielema is doing some good things there. But I think this is a spot where Illinois is really getting bet here. The line's moving 3-1 just because they beat this team that is just horrendous in Wyoming. And so I'm taking Indiana just on the fade of Wyoming.
All right, fair enough.
On the overreaction. Not that I even like Indiana.
No, that's fair. No, because there's definitely that thought crossed my mind where I was like, this is getting so public and it just seems almost too good to be true. Like, why isn't Illinois favored? But I mean, I guess on the same volition, they're only 13.5 points favorites last week and they won by 32. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, I'll be pulling for Illinois. Any other games that?
Yeah, I want to talk about Virginia Tech Old Dominion because you and I both kind of been discussing this all week. It went from 8.5 to 6 now, and the over/under all the way down to 47.5. And this comes into something you talk a lot about, Ev. I'll give you credit on this: the getting your bets in early in the week thing. Because NFL, these lines might move half point a point, whatever. These college lines move 3 to 5. On these over/unders, they'll move 6 sometimes. And if you liked Old Dominion and under in this game, now like I'm double checking it because I did like both. Do I still like it? Because I feel like, when it crosses 7, these key football numbers, I don't know. Like, I liked it a lot more at 8, and I liked it a lot more at 49.5 or 50 than I do at 47.
Yeah, it scares because I've like, it's one of those lines that just stands out to you right away when you see there's like Old Dominion only catching, even at the highs, when it was 8, even catching like 8 and 9, you're like, only catching 8 and 9 to Virginia Tech. And we know Virginia Tech's not going to be very good, but Old Dominion is very good against the run, and I do think that Virginia Tech is going to struggle there. But Old Dominion is also not very good at defending the pass, so I think it's going to be a weird thing where I think Old Dominion is going to be able to run the ball very well. Old Dominion also brings back all 11 starters on offense. I think Old Dominion is going to be able to run the ball well in Virginia Tech, but I think Virginia Tech is going to be able to have some success throwing the ball to Old Dominion.
Okay.
Their secondary is very bad. So it's had me in this weird place where I want to take Old Dominion because it just seems like that's just given the number, everything this, it just seems like that would be the right side. There's still a good, I think I'm going to play them. I would like to get 6.5 at least. I tried to get 7. Now it seems 7's tough to get. 7's it's almost like laying 125-30 juice, which I'm not really crazy about.
Yeah, I'm not into where are you on the buying half point stuff?
I will, on the football numbers, I will a reasonable number. I think maybe 120. See, college football, I care about it more in the NFL than I do in college for sure.
Edges are so much smaller.
So, yeah, so me, listen, if it was 7 minus 115, I'll do it. No, I'll pay the extra 5 cents just to have that firm 7 number. But yeah, in NFL, I'm definitely more in NFL, I'll do it. And I know sometimes it's not always the right move or maybe the disciplined gambler move, but it's just one of those that helps me sleep at night.
No,
I just want because God forbid if it's 6.5, they lose by 7, I want to rip my hair out. I don't even fucking have any hair.
I like your point. I think it's better for NFL. The college games are blowouts. Last one, not even a long touch on it, just a very brief. The TCU-Colorado late game tonight. TCU's 14. It's a Sonny Dykes debut. You know TCU's going to chunk the crap out of the ball, Sonny Dykes. Colorado's bad. However, this one feels like this has got the stench of the week on it because TCU's 93% public, laying 14 on the road, and Colorado in the mountains. This is either a hold my nose and take Colorado or pass for me. What do you think? Yeah,
honestly, I kind of was the opposite until basically last night, this morning. As where the whole week I kind of was I've just been so down on Colorado and just been of the mindset they're going to be so bad that I almost want to fade them in any spot. But I'm not super confident in TCU and having to win this game by 2 touchdowns on the road. And what I still think in probably a solid environment for Colorado, they should get up for the game. I know they're wearing these all blacks. I believe these really sick uniforms, great gold helmets with the CU. I believe they're rocking tonight. So I've kind of been in a spot where I was going to take TCU pass. So I think I might just pass. Or I was even considering the over, just because I know how much the Dykes they're going to want to throw the ball a ton. It also scares me. I think they're playing 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
Oh wow!
Which I don't love that. Or at least I'd read that somewhere. That may be false. But I read they were playing multiple quarterbacks. I don't love that. I don't know. It's one of those. I know. Listen, I'm gonna want to play the game. It's the good late game, so I probably will play it at some capacity. I'll tweet out my full card later. I'm not 100% sure on that one yet. If I had to pick right now, I guess I probably would lean the over is where I'm looking.
Okay.
But I don't know. I agree with you where I was like TCU and just the entire planet's on TCU. And it just seems like one of those times when the whole planet, it's 14 points, 13.5, 14 points. It's on the road.
smells.
It's just it's just not
there's a stench to it.
It just seems like that's not like more than not. That's not a profitable route, I'd imagine.
I'm just always weird. Look, I'm no saint. Y'all see me lose. I mean, I'm not gonna act like I'm some pro. But the road favorite stuff when 90% of the public's on it are the ones that just red flag me all the time. I feel like that's where specifically people get fried. And that's just something. It's red flagged to me.
I think this is a game where we kind of find out like how bad is Colorado. Like I think like if they go get blown out in this game, I'm like, oh, they might.
Yeah, home opener Friday night
really
TV game, not conference game because Colorado's not in Big 12 anymore. No, that's cool. Yeah, if you want, take calls or touch on Saturday games, whatever you want. You're hosting today.
Yeah, I told the people I was going to take some calls.
Let's take some
we got some people that have been waiting for a long time. So let me get some calls in.
Give the people what they want.
What we got that's been waiting for a while. Here we got Tony. Tony with a pick in the Arkansas game. Tony, you're on the air. What's up, brother?
What's up, Double Vodka Don, Mintzy? I was going to start off with, like, I think you were off base, Double Vodka Don, but, like, after seeing that video, like, I'm just going to give it up. But here's my point. How big of a sucker, how big of a mindless jabroni do you have to be to take points with Cincinnati? I mean, you're just a bad gambler objectively if you're looking at 6.5, and I'm going to take the points with the Bearcats. You got a retooled MAC quarterback who wanted to come along for the ride for his last year of eligibility, and Ben Bryant probably getting the start. KJ Jefferson, we got 10, 15 quarterbacks getting a bunch of press throughout the nation, and KJ Jefferson's just at Arkansas like, I'm just going to do it again. Healthy. This seems like the biggest no-brainer if you're going to lay points in the first week, team at home. The offensive line, defensive line matchup, we saw it with Alabama. They're different men when you're at Arkansas versus at Cincinnati. That's my pick. Lay the points with Arkansas. I'll talk to you boys. Be good.
Appreciate it, Tony. You know, I think he's right on some of where I was kind of the whole, like, leading up to this game. Obviously, week one games, we look at them for so long, so we have so much time to think about them. And I was kind of on the Cincinnati train until this week. I feel like I just kind of this moment of clarity of like, even though Cincy is very good, and I do think Fickle's a great coach, and I think they are going to continue to stay a very strong program. He's right. Like, and we talked about it the other day. I think it's just SEC, like this team versus Cincinnati team that is retooling a lot, bringing in a new quarterback after having Ritter for like 3 years. And also just a quick note on Ben Bryant, the Eastern Michigan transfer. He was at Cincinnati for a few years, left to go to Eastern Michigan, and then came back. So he is not like a total, just like transplant quarterback, but I agree with him. There's part of me that more I'm thinking the closer is going to kick off in Arkansas. I kind of think they smash them.
I'm going to probably catch heat for this because I was fighting Walker on it like in Cincinnati when he said he liked Arkansas so much. But I'm going from Cincy to staying away because I admit I'm not flipping to Arkansas. I'm not going to just be this coward and say, like, oh, I thought this and bet their side. I'm not doing that. But the more and more I do think about it, Arkansas always has had a really good home field advantage in Fayetteville, very underrated. And the trenches thing and the new quarterback thing, look, I'm still not taking Arkansas. I'm just going to sit back and watch and see what happens. That's where I'm at on that.
Fair enough. All right, next we got Jack from Chicago on Stockton College Football. Jack, you're on the air. What's up, boss?
How's it going, Big Av Mintzy? Good to talk to you guys. Wanted to ask you about a potential Barstool parlay that you guys have offering here. So I was looking at the Michigan State over, which I heard you guys obviously love. I wanted to look at Charlotte as well, playing William and Mary. I know you mentioned Charlotte. I believe it was last couple days, Mintzy, but I think they had a good shot as well here, just pounding on these crap teams. And then I also really like, who was it? I believe it was, Appalachian State money line tomorrow.
The Charlotte thing, you need to double-check that quarterback if he's healthy or not, because their quarterback that was good was the reason I took him last week, and he got knocked out of that game in the second quarter. And, I mean, they weren't going to win anyway. They were outmatched, but they might have been able to hang a little better. Once he was out, they were dead. I would very much double-check. His name's Reynolds. See if he's playing or not before you bet on them. Because he's good. He was excellent last year. And if he's out, I'd stay away. But if he's playing, I'm okay with it. That's Molly.
Yeah, I think that's a stay away game for me. I had mentioned about fading Charlotte's defense. I do just watch them against FAU. I don't think FAU is anything that special. I just think their defense is atrocious. But I don't know enough about William and Mary to give you like an honest take on how good their offense is. So I think that game's personally a stay away from me.
The App State, North Carolina, I do want to touch on. A week ago, North Carolina was 2.5 on the road. Now App State's a 2.5 point road favorite. It's a 5-point swing. I mean, it was one of those where I liked App State as a home dog, and now I'm just like, ugh, you know.
I think I still like him, at least. Like I probably I don't think I would lay anything on the money line at worst, but I honestly, man, I think they're just a better football team.
No, and Boone,
I really do.
good home field too.
And I just think that's a game like we kind of similar to how we talked about how North Carolina State's going to be going into East Carolina. I think kind of a similar thing where this is like these App State kids, this is like a Super Bowl for them. And I'm sure for that whole community, that fan base, like how excited would they be to beat North Carolina?
Oh.
Especially after some of the success they've had the last few years. Mac Brown coaching the team. So, you know, I like Appalachian State a lot tomorrow. Next, who's been holding for a while? Here we got Matt from Illinois wants to talk the Illinois-Indiana game tonight. Matt, what's up, guy?
What's up, boys? Happy Football Friday to you. Hey, I appreciate you both coming and doing a show today. Let me gas you up a big Ev, you smooth-looking motherfucker, you unit, you holding this shit down like the anchor. And Ben, I'm a fan of the Mintzy Reclamation Project. Rebuild the brand, rebuild the man. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
But yeah, man, keep doing it, brother. Listen, I'm going to go against you a little bit here, Mintzy, though, because I think you're sniffing wrong on the Illinois game.
Okay.
Right? I know, Ev, I know you're a big guy, big fan of the UTSA.
Yep.
Illinois has their offensive coordinator from last season, right? And he's already got a game under his belt. Now they're going to Indiana. Indiana's got 2 new coordinators, right? First game for 2 new coordinators with a Big Ten opponent coming in. They got nothing to tweak up on, right? Illinois is sitting on one of the highest paid defensive coordinators in the country, one of the most sought after guys, Ryan Walters, a guy that used to be at Missouri. And then you got boys going from week 1 to week 2 for Illinois. That's your biggest jump. You know what I'm saying? And then beyond that, you got Illinois chasing the line. I like the under in this game. I think you can take Illinois money line. And Ben, I know you're a slide the line kind of guy. I think Illinois -1.5 might even be some plus money here. Have a great day, boys.
Appreciate you, Matt.
Good call. I always like the coordinator analysis stuff because I feel like people don't spend enough time on that in college football. That's super, super important.
No, that's fair. I just think that's why Indiana, I don't know, like I hear like just seeing the line and just the movement. It's weird where just like why is Indiana favored? But I guess I'm more of a believer than Illinois than most people too. I just like what Bielema was doing. I just think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think they're going to be able to score. I think they're going to play good defense. I really have zero to very little faith in Indiana's offense. So I guess that's why I'm pretty confident. Who's been on hold for a while? Here we got James in Kentucky. Want to talk some college ball. James, what's up, my guy?
What's up, fellas? Glad to hear you guys on the air today. Big shout out to TJ. I know he's not there right now before I get to my pick because he's been taking care of the chat boys, taking care of these little bitches in the chat since Brendan hasn't really been talking to us very much the past couple of weeks. Solid pick today is going to be Kentucky team total over 34.5. They got a brand new toy and running back coming from FCS. His name is Ramon Jefferson, coming from Sam Houston State, All-American FCS. Now that Chris Rodriguez is suspended for a few games, Kentucky's going to tear it up, whether it's their new toys, scoring touchdowns, or Will Levis on his march to the Heisman. Thanks for taking my calls. See you guys in the chat.
James, hold on for a second. I'm generally curious. I want to ask this to a real Kentucky fan. I'm glad you called in. What's your concern level on the loss of Wendell Robinson?
Oh, real low, dude. I think he's going to be great. Like, I've heard nothing but great things about him in practice from a lot of the message boards. He's looked really good, and I think he is not going to miss a beat. When Chris Rodriguez gets back, you're talking about 2 top-tier talents. But, I mean, this guy's coming from FCS and just tore up FCS, and I think he's going to tear up the SEC next.
I appreciate you, James.
My thing on Kentucky, I don't know what's going to happen this week. They may blow out, whatever. I'm not sure on that. I'm feeling a world where I'm seeing ahead and Utah beats Florida and then Florida upsets Kentucky in the swamp week 2. I feel like I'm seeing it. It's like one of those like seeing the future things. Like I feel like Florida, it's asking too. Florida Utah's gonna be a great game. I think it might be asking too much for game 1 against a veteran squad like Utah to pull it off. I think they'll fight and have a great atmosphere, but week 2, no Rodriguez, Kentucky, Florida's like SEC. I don't know. That's my.
Also, I think he misinterpreted my question. I meant more their loss of Wendell Robinson because I thought he was a big part of their offense last year.
I mean, he was their offense.
That's my main concern with Kentucky is that I just feel like he was such a big part of the offense, and I'm afraid that even like Levis didn't have like this crazy prolific passing year last year, and I mean I think literally like half of his yards were to Wendell Robinson. So that for me, I was concerned for Kentucky fans. But now we got Zach in Kansas. Zach, what's up? How we doing? Happy Football Friday.
Doing all right. I got a parlay on the Barstool Sportsbook, that promo that you guys had. So I was just wonder what your thoughts were. I have Kansas minus 30.5. They have a lot of different defensive transfers this year. Craig Young from Ohio State. They have Eric Gilliard from Central Florida. Kalen Gervin from Michigan State. So defense will be a lot better. And then Kalen Daniels is going to be a pretty good quarterback with Devin Neal at running back. So I got them minus 30.5 tonight, along with Texas A&M minus 30.5 against Sam Houston State. I feel like it's just going to be one of those games kind of like Tennessee last night. Then Ohio State, Notre Dame over.
Love that play.
Over. I think it's like 58.
Yeah, I love the Ohio State Notre Dame over. I think Ohio State's going to score a lot. I think Ohio State, obviously we have the new coordinator. I think the Ohio State's even is going to be much better. But I do like Buchner, Notre Dame's new quarterback. I think they should score. So I do like those plays.
Look, I love Leipold. I think he's a great coach. I ain't laying no 30 with Kansas under any circumstance whatsoever. Like, I do think they're getting better, and I don't know the first thing about Tennessee Tech. But, man, you're talking about a football
that game's tonight as well.
Yeah, but, I mean, how many games has Kansas won the last 4 years total? They went 2-10 last year. I mean, you're talking about a program that's won 4 or 5 games in the last 3 or 4 years. I think that they're going to upset a couple people. I like the Kansas over. I think they're going to beat Duke. I ain't betting on them to beat anybody by 5 touchdowns. Period.
Yeah,
that's just not. That ain't something I'm doing.
I don't blame you there. Let's get one of our favorite callers, Dakuchi, Toronto.
Oh, awesome.
Dakuchi, what's up, my guy?
Not a whole lot, fellas. If you listen to the Brandon Walker show last night, we had a comfortable win with Portland State getting the points covering, only losing by 3. They got 22. And I got an answer for your question earlier about the Charlotte Williams-Mary game. The Charlotte quarterback is ruled out with an arm injury. That means I'm on William and Mary plus 8. I like them maybe even a little bit outright here. There's a championship expectation this year at William and Mary. The coach has said as much. Mike London, he's saying we got to win something this year. It's a winning culture. And they got 2 quarterbacks. I know if you got 2, you don't really even have one, but both are experienced. Both are better than the guy going on the other side. And I like the plus 8 points here. I think it's actually moved down to 7. I'm seeing it on the Barstool Sportsbook. I still like that number, but that's my play for you today, fellas. Thanks for having the show.
Appreciate you, Dakuchi.
Did not realize Mike London was at William and Mary now. You know, he did a great job at Richmond, but then didn't work out at Virginia. But you know, that maybe.
I want to check on that line because I could have swore when I looked this morning that it was like 3.5. Maybe did I not look correctly? I just want to double check that.
Well,
real quick.
Look, when you look at Charlotte's team, I know they have a good receiving core. That quarterback was what I liked about him. It wasn't the defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see a lot of. It's a short week too. They got beat up. I thought Florida Atlantic kind of beat them up physically with that defense last week too.
Absolutely.
I think that's a fair upset alert. I would lean William and Mary there.
All right, so next we got been on hold for a while. Appreciate you guys all holding on. We're gonna try to get to all your calls. Next we got my guy Beef from New Jersey. Beef, what's up, brother? Sounds like my kind of guy. Beef, you there?
You might have a little beef with them.
Beef.
Picking up the phone.
Beef.
Might have a.
Oh, that breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. I want to get Beef. He was on hold for a while. All right, next we got who got us on hold for a long time? We got Joey here. Joey Freshwater.
Oh wow!
Lane,
I know who that is.
Lane, is that you, Lane?
What up, boys? Y'all got me?
We got you.
All right. Let's start it off. Happy Gas 'em Up Friday, boys. Let's start off behind the glass. Shout out Ebo. Great addition to the Pick Central team. Your stats are always on point. Let's go O's. I don't know any of you other guys yet, so we'll hit you back.
They're good guys. Good guys, I promise you.
Mintzy Elite radio show host in North Louisiana. When's that jam band start? When's that jam band pod starting, bro? Let's get it going. Hell, best damn football capper at the company. You keep giving plays, I'll keep tailing. Let's go. The pick is in. Look, I know everybody's been talking about it. It's Illinois. Don't overthink this, guys. These two programs are going in opposite directions. Indiana didn't win a Big Ten game last year. They averaged 11 points. Don't overthink this. Illinois, I got it at +3. Now it's +1. Just take the money line, and let's get to Saturday. Appreciate the call. Thanks, guys.
Joey, that was a fantastic call. You just gave me chills.
No, Joey's old. Shout out to Joey. Old school mixing up with Mintz listener from like day one.
Oh, let's go. Hell yeah.
Louisiana Tech guy.
Hell yeah.
And so that's why I said that. But like the whole way back, literally listened to my show like day one in late 2015.
Oh yeah, good shit, Joe.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We got actually, God bless Heather from New Jersey, been on hold for a long time. I think she's called it a few times before. Heather, how are we?
Hi, good. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Happy Football Friday, my friend.
Yes, happy Football Friday. Thank you guys for coming in on your holiday weekend. If last night was any indication of what week one has in store, we needed this show badly, so I appreciate it.
Of course.
Cincinnati is that team that I've just decided I'm going to blindly ride with regardless. I know they lost a lot of guys, but Fickle is just a guy that I have decided, like, I'm putting my full trust in. Like I said, I'm blindly taking them tomorrow. I either need to be gassed up that it's a good pick, or I just need to be mentally prepared for the loss.
I think I talked about this a little earlier. I was kind of with you all summer, and then I think I've had a little bit of like revelation, and I'm very worried about the way they could get beat up in the trenches here. Just go into a really tough environment. Arkansas's got really high hopes. They're going to be really fired up for this game. I think what I'm worried about too, as well, is Cincinnati's quarterback play. They haven't announced a quarterback. I don't know how much that really matters. I'm sure. I would imagine to the team, the quarterback's been announced. I think it's Pickle kind of keeping his cards face down for Arkansas to prepare. It's either going to be Evan Prater, who is a really highly touted kid who's been there a couple of years, or Ben Bryant, who was a kid that was there a few years before, transferred to Eastern Michigan, started last year, came back. I think I'm going to be playing Arkansas. I don't want to talk you off Cincinnati, because there is still this like little part of me that maybe thinks that I think Fickle's a better coach than Pittman, even though I do like Pittman. I think he's a good ball coach. I think Fickle's one of the better coaches in the country. But I've kind of turned. I think I'm gonna be putting my money in Arkansas tomorrow. But I don't blame you taking Cincinnati. You never know. I mean, the line's only 6.5 for a reason. We'll see. I mean, they definitely have been good to me the last few years. But yeah, I think I'm gonna be on Arkansas here. I think Mintz has agreed as well.
I'm staying away. Thank you for the call, though.
Thanks so much for the call, Heather. God bless.
We only got a couple minutes left, Dev. I want to bring up, before we make our picks, I want a quick thought on the Georgia-Oregon game.
I think Georgia's going to smash them. I just think the way that Oregon is built, I don't know how much they've really retooled, like the offensive defensive line. I mean, if anything, they've lost Thibodeau. They've lost a good piece. I just think the way Georgia's built, they are built just like that why am I drawing? Who the fuck were we just talking about? Oregon. That Oregon's going to walk into an absolute buzzsaw. We talked about kind of earlier this week the way that Utah was able to just beat the shit out of them at the line of scrimmage. And Georgia, to me, is like Utah on steroids. I just think this is going to be – I think it's the line's 17 for a reason. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I wouldn't be shocked if this game ends and it's like a 35-7 type game. Like I'm going to be betting on Georgia. I think they're going to beat the shit out of Oregon.
I'm not going to war on it, but I'm on the other side a little bit. I think Georgia, 3 returning starters on defense. I don't think Georgia. I mean, I think they're going to be like 10-2 and good, but I don't think they're going to even be in the same stratosphere as that defense last year. I think Bo Nix will make, not like a lot of plays, but maybe some plays to get them to 14 or 17. And I also I've been making a big deal all week about Lanning being Georgia's former defensive coordinator. I think he's going to know just enough to keep him in it. Is Oregon going to win the game? Probably not, but I could see like a 24-13, 24-14 type cover here where they fight a little longer than people expect. And so I think I'm going a little contrarian on that one.
All right, so I guess the last minute or so, any just, I guess, are like official picks that you've locked in already or definitely going to play?
I've got a lot of leans, but I haven't locked in necessarily anything. The LSU Florida State, I'm going Sunday night in New Orleans. You see it went to 3.5.
Which game was that?
LSU Florida State.
Yep.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. I'm smelling a rat a little on that. LSU's like 90% public, and the line's moving.
I like Florida State.
I know. I'm kind of.
I've been on Florida State.
I was big on LSU a lot in the offseason, but now I'm kind of,
over in that game.
I'm hearing
points.
I don't hate that either.
I'm hearing my reports from Baton Rouge from good sources say LSU. I mean, of course you're going to hear everyone looks good in camp. But they're saying the coaching jump from Mo to Kelly is massive, and they're more disciplined and well coached, and it's like a different culture and world. But what else are they supposed to say before the season? So you take that for granted. I'm going to tweet out my card later today. I'm going to be honest. I know I'm going to be on Indiana just on the fade, and I might be on Colorado. Is what I got, but I didn't know we were doing the show till 11:31 when I was in Hoboken.
No worries. So my official plays as of now are I'm on Illinois plus 1.5. I'm on the Western Michigan, Michigan State over 53.5, and I'll be tweeting out the full card later. Ebo, you got any plays, Ebo, for tonight?
Nothing really on the card tonight. I will be rooting for Old Dominion though.
How? So obviously if you were to bet on that game, what side would you be on?
I don't know. I think Old Dominion just lost their offensive coordinator in training camp. They could be out of sorts. I just don't like it at all. But I hate Virginia Tech. I'll never take their side.
Anything like tomorrow you want to give a little?
Yeah. I mean, I got a couple here. We got Louisville. I'll be on BYU all year.
Yep.
And then the Michigan State, Western Michigan over.
Evo, tell them the future you told me on the path.
What, the Heisman?
The South Carolina one.
Oh, yeah, I took South Carolina to win the East 44-1.
Oh, yeah, I think you might have mentioned that in the show, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long shot, but if Rattler is as good as he can be, they will be in contention.
I like it. I'm a Rattler guy as well. I'm a believer. I just hope he's got a little – I remember watching him at QB1. He was kind of an asshole. But that was 3 years ago. Maybe he lost his job at Oklahoma. Maybe he's humbled a little bit.
Yeah, and
he's a great quarterback. He can definitely spin it.
He lost his job to, maybe one of the best seasons we've ever seen from a true freshman quarterback. So Spencer Rattler is still a very good quarterback.
The year before that, I mean, he was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, he was the highest-rated player coming back for a reason. He was good.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to think any other games because there's no yak today, so we're not actually on a clock. Hard to get out, like a hard clock today. Are there any other games you want to discuss? I'm excited to see Jackson Dart play tomorrow for Ole Miss. Yep. Supposedly the weather, I hadn't checked the weather today, but it looked like it was going to rain in Mississippi, which could affect Mississippi State, Memphis too. Mississippi State, you would think, revenge game, but they lost because that BS call last year. But I'll tell you, man, I've said this before, and I'll say it again about Mike Leach teams. Awesome underdog and terrible favorite. You don't want to lay 14-17 with Leach teams.
I think he's, like 16
Yeah,
right
but
now?
going back to Texas Tech and Washington State, he's an unreal underdog. He's one of the best underdog coaches in the game. I'm not hating. But he doesn't play well as a big favorite. They play up and down.
No, you're right. Fair.
And so that's concerning. I'm curious to see what Ole Miss is going to look like. I'm not laying the 21.5. I mean, I think that's a lot.
So I would say even if we want to do it at a time, I'll give it quick.
Yeah, we're
good.
Going through. We go a few minutes later.
Going through tomorrow's schedule, I was going to look at. So I've been locked into these plays with these. I'll list off some of the plays that I think I'm highly likely going to be playing tomorrow. I like the over in Ohio State, Notre Dame. I like the over in Michigan, Colorado State. I think I'm going to play some Eastern Carolina. I think Maryland's going to hammer Buffalo. I like App State, North Carolina, and I like that over. And I also like App State. I like Georgia. I like Arkansas. I really, really like UTSA as a dog at home against Houston. Really like that play. Excuse me. I also really like Arizona as a dog going to San Diego State. I think Arizona's going to be better this year.
Who's the transfer quarterback they got?
Oh,
they got one. I know.
What's his name?
Blattman must not be here anymore. I saw him.
I literally was just looking at it yesterday, and I liked what they had, and I just think their team is going to be much better. I do like BYU, even though the spot scares me a little bit, because I know they did go in there and South Florida played them like decently competitive last year. But so I like BYU as well with Ebo. I think it's one of those. I've been so high in them. I agree the spot is not good. I am going to play Utah. Also the over, in that game, and then the one game that I really want to bet that I've been so back and forth on. I think I'm going to play Louisville as well. The one game I've been really back and forth on that I want to play. That maybe I won't just because probably shouldn't because I'm so back and forth on it is Army Coastal.
Yeah, I'm still going to take Coastal. I might be being a sucker, but my instincts like Coastal.
Yeah, I go. Army's just one of those tough teams because Army, I just feel like it's one of those. They're one of those teams that you just know right away. It is only like a 2-point spread, but I think it's one of those you're either going to stop the triple option or you're not kind of thing. You're either ready for it or you're not. And they get that first couple good drives going, all of a sudden you're like, oh shit. But also, they're one of those teams that can go the other way where I'm such a big Grayson McCall guy. Coastal lost a lot on offense, but I think they're very well coached. I think they should. I think Jamie Chadwell's great. Like I said, I love McCall. I literally feel like he's my baby. I found him his first start.
Yeah.
I've been gassing him up ever since. He's awesome at quarterback. But I know he had surgery in the offseason, but I think he should be fine.
I got 2 questions for Ebo because he knows FCS more than I do for sure. Can South Dakota State beat Iowa? It's only 14.5.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be one of the top teams in FCS this year for sure.
That Iowa does not blow people out well. That's a weird one because that's not what they do.
Well, that's a game that's perfect where it's like a lot of low variance or high variance where it's like you're not going to get a lot of possessions because it's going to be like a lot of running the football, a lot of slow plays. So an upset is very, very possible.
And the other one is Nebraska's 22 against North Dakota. I feel like Nebraska might beat the crap out of them.
I don't know. North Dakota had Tommy Schuster last year, I believe.
Okay.
He wasn't bad. I don't know if he's still around the program or not, but North Dakota's been a lot better the last couple of years.
Okay, that's why I was asking because you know FCS more than I do.
I think I have like Nebraska SD. I think I just can't bet on them anymore.
Yeah, you got
they're literally always the right side and they're always the wrong side. They're always the right side. They just never win.
Ev, Utah, Florida. Where are you on that?
I love the over. Over, I'm more confident. I'm just been so bullish on Utah that I almost feel like there's a sense that I have to take them. Because how could I be so high on them? I think they're a playoff team. Even though I do think they could literally lose this game and still make the playoffs. Like if there was a game to lose on their schedule, I think for them this is the one. Going to the Swamp week 1. But I don't know. It's so tough because obviously I think the points are obvious where I think Utah's the better team, the more veteran team, the more experienced team. But just coming from Utah to the fucking Swamp at what is it?
Say tonight. It's 7.
Night game makes it a little better, but still, it also makes it a little better for the Heat as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go Utah. I'm gonna go the over, and I'm gonna go Utah. I'm probably thinking the over bigger, but I'm gonna bet Utah just because I've been so high on them. I almost feel like I have to.
Okay, that feels like a stay away. Like I would be home dog or nothing, but I just don't know if Florida's quite ready to win.
I do think Richardson is fucking phenomenal, and the ceiling is massive.
I love Napier and Tony. Tony, their defensive coordinator, is really good at Louisiana Lafayette. I think he is gonna be able to keep him in it. The other ones, I like Oregon State. That line keeps going down. It's 2.5 now. Public slamming Boise. Boise's just got a way bigger brand name, and I think that's like getting overvalued here. Dude, Jonathan Smith at Oregon State's a freaking beast coach. Dude.
Their offensive line was fucking.
They ran the ball. They play physical.
They were a team that was good to me betting wise last year.
They're tough at home, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. I might take Utah State plus 41.5 of the points, like we talked about. Bama. Do they care about covering? Real curious to see. Y'all talked about Rattler. Georgia State's sleeper in the Sun Belt this year. They're sneaky good.
That line's only like 13 or
12 and a half.
Right?
Georgia State's got some athletes. I don't really know what to think. I'm just curious. I'm excited to see Rattler.
That's a sneaky line where it's like it's that small, and it's in South Carolina, right? Like it's at South Carolina.
Yeah. Night game.
That is interesting. That is like that's a line where
Ebo, you can go alternate line South Carolina. Then you look all confident.
I don't know if I'll go alt line, but I mean, I don't know if Georgia State is like the team that's going to be taking down South Carolina.
Yeah, that line just feels it's just one of those lines that you without knowing anything about like Georgia State, you just look at it on paper and you're like, why is it not like 20-25?
The Sun Belt East is absolutely stacked this
year.
It might be the
Sun
best
Belt
group.
overall is
the Sun Belt is like ascending to a point where it's going to be the number one group of 5, and people aren't ready for it.
App State, Coastal,
Marshall in it now.
Marshall, App State, Coastal, JMU, ODU, Georgia State. All in the same.
That's a nice.
All in the same.
That is really nice.
That is Southern Miss is in it now too.
Yeah,
that's a really strong one side of a.
Yeah, the West is a little weaker, but.
Yeah, well, the West is gonna. I'm curious how Louisiana Lafayette's gonna be after losing Napier, because how good they've been the last few years. You got to think they're gonna not be the same. I mean, I would be shocked. Any other ones? Let's see before we get out of here. Ev, thanks again for coming in.
Of course.
And I do want to say real quick. I now that I've had time to evaluate it in the heat of the moment, I could see how the wording of that tweet was a little.
No, and I apologize. I jumped down your throat. I apologize.
No, but I mean,
that was I was in there. I shouldn't have jumped down.
I feel like
I'm glad if you didn't say it, we wouldn't have came in and did the show.
Yeah, think about
I'm very glad we came in and did the show.
Let's think about this. Yes, we got bitched at about it, but if we came in and there was no show, think about how much work.
No, for sure. That's.
I mean, we're talking about a whole different situation.
For sure.
We identified it. He had Dave had an issue with it. We got in here. We did it. Life's going to go on. If there was no show, I feel like
No, and listen,
we
first
would have all
First
felt
Football Friday, there's got to be a show, 100%.
No, look,
If you want to talk quick, I know we just touched on it briefly.
we got to talk about
might as well just talk about the Sunday and Monday game.
I'm not in a hurry.
So I like Florida State. I like the over as well. Or Ebo said he likes the over. I like it as well. I really like Florida State. They've been much better with Jordan Travis. I don't know. I know they're kind of both teams that I think overall the general public is down on as power programs. Obviously, Florida State's been down for much longer. But I don't know. And people have given Norvell a lot of shit. I think the fan base hasn't given him nearly as much shit as maybe some of the public has.
Well, the thing is the situation he came into was Jimbo quit trying. Like, Jimbo won a national title and was awesome for Florida State. So I don't want to totally say, he was not a failure. But he was that last year or two. He quit trying recruiting. Literally, he quit recruiting. Their offensive line. I mean, Florida State has been so bad. And then Taggart came in, and I'm not going to say any on the air, but I heard all kinds of really, really crazy behind-the-scenes stories about Taggart that were unprofessional and all the stuff that happened during that Taggart era. He didn't do well. So the combo of Jimbo not recruiting and the mess of Taggart, Norvell got 3 to 4 years because he was coming in inheriting an awful situation. However, we live in the day and age now because of the transfer portal. You can clean it up a little quicker, and that's the route LSU went. I mean, LSU dressed out. I went to that Texas Bowl. LSU had 37 players on that sideline. 37 players. D1 college, 2 years after they won the national title. But they got a ton of guys in the transfer portal. I think it's going to be, like I said, I think it's going to be a quicker fix than people think. I'm curious. I'm just excited to go to that game, Ev. New Orleans, Superdome, what a game to kick off the year Sunday night. I'm doing the streams. We got a huge stream in Hoboken. I believe is it starting second half of Georgia?
Tomorrow around 5 p.m. Eastern, second half of Oregon, Georgia, and then all through all the night slate for Ohio State, Notre Dame.
I don't even make
all the good night games.
Am I so banned I don't even get on the live stream picture? I mean, come on, guys. That's pretty damn cool.
I didn't make the graphic.
I know. I'm just pitching. Whatever.
But obviously, before we get into, we can briefly talk on the Monday game as well. Let's talk about Skrill. Love Skrill. Skrill is the perfect digital wallet for gamblers because it was built for gamblers. Sophisticated gamblers use it to manage their bankroll, whether they are playing games like poker or betting on their favorite sports. They manage their bankroll using the wallet, which allows them to pay instantly and securely. It's payments without limits, basically. You can access your bankroll with instant deposits and withdrawals and also draw the cash using your prepaid card. Let's just say Skrill is the perfect digital wallet for sports bettors, so it's a no-brainer to create your free account right this instant. Make sure to sign up at Skrill.com/Barstool to create your free account and complete the account verification by clicking Follow the Game after registering so you can start using your digital wallet today. Shout out Skrill. Remember, www.skrill.com/Barstool. So the last game, Monday game.
I don't see a line on it yet. What's going on?
Clemson, Georgia Tech. The line I had seen was 22 and a half that I had seen. There's a funny thing. So some Dave said it. Some whale or something like that picks games, pick Georgia Tech. So I'm going to pick Georgia Tech. In all seriousness, this is a tough one because I think where it's. I don't know what I'm not super high in Clemson this year. Just because I think although their defense was phenomenal last year and the offense really struggled, I'm worried about what their defense is going to look like without Venables. I'm worried about how much of an impact losing his presence is going to have. I'm also just not super high in Georgia Tech.
No.
At all, really. So this is kind of a weird line. This almost might be a dog or pass me because I don't know how much better Clemson's offense is going to look. I thought their offensive line wasn't very good. I thought them losing ETN last year, you saw not having that playmaking running back made a huge difference. And obviously the combination of a bad offensive line, no playmaking running backs was not a recipe for success with their offense. And for me, their offense being so bad last year, even though I was a ukulele guy, I was really surprised how poor he looked after how good he had looked in some spots the year before. But an offense that looks so bad, it's hard for me to mentally lay over 20 points.
Remember last year?
When I'm worried about their ability to score.
You remember last year they were winning games 17-3.
That's what I'm saying. It's laying 22 and a half, which, could they cover it? Sure. And am I going to bet the game because it's a standalone on Monday night? Absolutely. Do I know what I'm going to bet in the game right now? Probably not. But I'd say if you put a gun in my head right now, I'd lean Georgia Tech.
I think I'd lean under maybe too. The 1 point, okay. I'll give you credit. We had to throw together 4 playoff teams the other day, and I didn't really. I knew the 2, and then I kind of threw 2 in. Your point about Venables leaving is good. He's been a spectacular defensive coordinator at Clemson. That's not easy to replace. However, the one point that's the counterpoint is Clemson's defense is dominant because their defensive line beats the crap out of everybody.
For sure.
And that ain't about the defensive coordinator. No. You know, that's about having those guys.
No
and
doubt.
So I think it's like I'm sure it's in the middle. Like it's going to hurt to lose Venables, but the D-line's still going to dominate. So it's like I don't know. I think I'm leaning on, I'm kind of going with the theory. Like I said it before. When in doubt, I'm just going to take the big points. I mean, that's just what I'm going to do all year, and that's what I've been doing in baseball, and I did it in college baseball tournament. I kind of adjust my gambling strategy a little bit. Like when I'm not real sure about something and I want to play something, just give me the underdog. I'm not – it's not a foolproof thing by any stretch, but just laying 20-something points with an offense you don't trust, it's just not an easy thing to do.
No.
I mean, it's just not a very profitable thing to do. But I'm stoked, man. We got a great week 1 slate.
And boys, it's the great week 1. It's the weekend. Big Ev, you going to be drinking anything this weekend?
Oh, I mean, we'll be drinking Fireball.
Hell yeah.
Best whiskey in the game.
What's your F1 pick? What's the F1 pick of the day?
I'd say the F1 pick of the day is
Not Ohio State?
Well, that's tomorrow's game.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
The F. Let me get you a legit F1 pick. We're talking F1 picks. Fireball F1 pick. I want for tonight's game. I'm gonna go. Let's see, if there's a big. You know what? Fuck it. You know what the F1 pick is? Actually, Ebo kind of talked me off Old Dominion. My my F1 pick is. I'm gonna go with my guy. Kansas actually covers 31 points.
Okay.
That's the F1 pick. Kansas with Leipold. You see something new, a whole different animal. This team is gonna win multiple. You know what? I'm gonna say that too. They're gonna win multiple games in the Big 12 this year. Kansas. In football, not basketball, in football, covers a 31-point spread tonight. Well, that's the F pick of the day. Shout out Fireball, best whiskey in the game. Cinnamon whiskey goes down smooth, easy. It's beautiful.
My F pick of the day, which is probably going to lose money, but it's just totally fading public and stuff, and it's at home. I think I'm going to take the Colorado money line real small. I just smelled something going on there, man. TCU, first game, playing multiple quarterbacks on the road. Public's all, slamming it. Do I think am I probably burning money? Sure. But let's see what the price I'm getting on it.
Really quick before, speaking of Fireball whiskey, shout out Fireball. Sometimes life can get serious, fast, and adult responsibilities become overwhelming. But everyone needs an excuse to let loose and have some fun. During the moments of stressful adulting, letting yourself have some fun. Fireball whiskey is there to help you say F it and free your fire. Fireball takes any event to the next level, whether it's a mundane work happy hour, crazy pregame, or just watching football with some friends. Fireball is about flipping the script on life and turning everyday events into ones you'll be telling stories about for years. Fireball's iconic cinnamon flavor tastes fire and goes down easy, making the ultimate crowd pleaser. That's why it's the #1 shot in the U.S. The Fireball 50-milliliter shooters are perfect to a night of pregame, tailgate, or darty, plus no shot glass needed. Just crack it and knock it back. Listen, I love Fireball Whiskey. I've been drinking it for a long time. It's the best. Go to Fireball Whiskey. Phenomenal beverage. Great for any tailgate, pregame. It's that season. You're going to be watching college football, whether you're at a tailgate, you can see your friends on the couch, anything. Get your Fireball cinnamon whiskey in. The best of the best.
The Fireball will be being passed around.
It'll be flowing, baby.
The Grove in Oxford, Mississippi. The Fireball's going to be. You
like the Fireball down south, Vince?
They do.
Oh, yeah.
The college towns like the Fireball, man. Like, back in my heyday, I was never a Rumpelmintz guy. I was never a Jaeger guy. I always thought that stuff was gross, but I always liked Fireball.
Fireball guys. Always Fireball guys.
Like Fireball. But, man, I want to shout out to Ebo and our crew. Thank y'all, because y'all also got the last-minute notice on this deal, too. I appreciate y'all coming in and make this happen. Ev, you're the man for beating me here. Like I said, I love that I feel like there's nothing else to say. I think this misunderstanding has been cleared up.
We broke bread, Mintzy.
No,
broke bread. We taught some ball, had a great time. Like Mintzy said, God bless Ebo. Everyone else behind the glass. You're the best. Ebo, any last thoughts? Anybody any last thoughts?
Jamie, -6.5, first FBS game at home this weekend. Let's go, Dukes.
Steak, we laying 7 with BC?
I'm taking the under in BC Rutgers.
All right, love it.
And I've got one last thought, too. Kelly and Vegas and I are going. Okay, when's the college football show's 10 Eastern tomorrow?
10 Eastern tomorrow. That's right, thank you. First college football tomorrow show. We got our locks. I think we had a kind of not a totally new format of the show. We got some more segments. I think it's going to be an awesome show. And also tomorrow, big thing that we haven't done in the past, we're announcing the entire travel schedule for the whole year.
9 stops.
9 stops this year. So tomorrow, at the end of the show, we'll be announcing our stop, where maybe we're going next week, and also the rest of the season. So look forward to that. 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, before all the games start at noon. God bless our guys behind the guys. God bless everyone listening, watching back home. Really appreciate you. God bless you, Mintzy, for coming in. That's Pick Central. Wish everybody the best in their picks. Show the gambling gods show you mercy. Get you good bounces this weekend. We love you. See you on Tuesday.
11 a.m. Pick Kelly in Vegas and I are doing Twitter Spaces right after college football to go over the board tomorrow too. We're trying it out, so check that out too. Ev, you the man. Appreciate it.
Of course, Mintzy.
Appreciate everybody.
God bless.
Yeah.
Good luck this week betting.
Let's get this money.
Let's go, Eagles.